Greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Let's get back into the topic of today, which is emotional tone manipulation, okay? Got a question from Big Ruckus referencing Zerka and a style of emotional tone manipulation, which is something that he generally uses quite a lot. If you notice, a lot of people understand that there is this kind of manipulation of the tone that can really help you connect with someone. So, first things first, do not use any of these skills for harm against others. If you're inexperienced, learn, build yourself, build your character. That's number one, okay? Read the disclaimer, let's get started. Now, most people crave a deeper connection with somebody. That's like the hunger underneath the surface of every individual. Being seen, being felt, being experienced or understood in a way that cuts through all the noise, right? And this is actually where tone becomes a hidden battlefield for you. Your words can lie, but tone, what you're hearing, tone is the nervous system whispering truth behind the mask. It's like the emotional undercurrent that tells your subconscious mind whether to trust, whether to lean in, whether to fear. You can't touch, feel, or see a vibe, right? It's felt. But a vibe shapes your entire reality, especially with women, as they're more feeling creatures, emotional creatures, right? Now here's the trap. Narcissists know this. So I'm gonna give you the 3 techniques that narcissists use, and then I'm gonna give you my approach to working with tone. The first is the love bombing effect. The honey voice dripping with exaggerated sweetness, making you feel like you've been appointed by the divine itself. Then once they've got you hooked, they use a cold blade, that flat, detached monotone voice that leaves you feeling invisible, discarded, punished for simply being human. And this is how emotional tone manipulation can be actually used in a negative way to emotionally blackmail others, to use people's words against themselves, right? And then finally, once you're destabilized with these 2 methods, the third one is they snap the whip, meaning sudden sharpness, explosive sarcasm, unpredictable rage that keeps you second guessing. So that's the triad of emotional tone manipulation. Honey, blade, whip. Honey, blade, whip. Once you learn to recognize it, the spell then breaks. You notice what they're trying to do to you. Now you have it within your power, okay? This is why we need to educate people with videos like this. But there's a higher path, and I've understood this in a very different way. As I've studied a lot of psychology, esoteric information, peak performance information, I've tried to combine all of them together. So here's the higher path. Instead of being tossed around by other people's tones, you learn to wield your own tone, like the 5 elements. Fire is aggressive, commanding. Earth is steady, grounded, anchoring the room with incredible calm. Air is light, playful, improvisational, able to shift energy with a joke. Water is, of course, smooth, flowing, disarming any resistance. And space, ether itself, guess what? It's the silence. It's the body language, right? The pause that makes every word of yours land like thunder. So don't think of them as metaphors. These are like energetic keys. And once you tune into them, you understand that your very tone is a siddhi, or a spiritual power. I truly believe that the best siddhi is not levitation or shrinking myself down to an ant size, or even walking on water. It's the ability to control my emotions, my own delivery of my emotions, to be at the cause and not the effect. And of course, myself learning acting, it's kind of helped with this emotional tone stuff. Notice when you elongate a vowel sound through these words, you get people to pay attention. What if I suddenly started speaking in a whisper? That makes it seem that you're in on some secret that other people don't know, even just by me shifting that tone. You see? So this is how tones are used to help people time travel or teleport into different worlds, characters. So stop being a victim of vibes and start being the creator of them. And then your voice becomes medicine, a weapon, and magic all at once. So here's the practice. You listen to yourself speak. You go on a rant on the camera. Maybe you take out any random book. Let's take a random book. The Divine Madman, okay? Drupa Kunle. Let's go to a random page. Let's say I'm reading the sentence. One day the Lama decided to tame the demon of the valley head. He climbed high up the valley side and encountered an old man called Apasita Drugye, cutting peat. Now the Lama knew that Appa was interested in buying some symbols and decided to pose as a trader. Okay, I just read that passage. Now notice that my tone was doing different things as I was reading, right? So if I had recorded myself, which I did, right, through this video, I would then check my body. I'd replay it, I'd read it again. I'd notice how my shoulders were, how my face was. Maybe my jaw was locked and then the tone wasn't coming out correctly. If your shoulders and jaw are locked up, your tone will sound like a prison. Once you relax this, your voice can then deepen. Now experiment with the range as you read it, okay? You read the passage as water. You read the passage as fire. You read the passage as air, okay? And then you read the passage through ether. What does that mean? It's just simply the awareness of the body language is the ether and how you place your pauses in silence. Notice which tone feels least forced. That would be your true baseline tone. Then you got to match your content with the tone. If you're speaking about something that has a lot of passion inside it, you can use that fire energy. So fierce truths call for fire. Heartfelt stories, deep enriching stories need that earth energy. Jokes and teaching demand this air-like quality. And finally, anchor every word with intention. What energy do I want to transmit here? And when you practice this, you will stop letting other people, manipulators, narcissists, whatever, and even your own stress, stop hijacking your tone. So instead, I want you to basically become a sovereign of your own tone. And in this world, man, everybody's drowning in empty words. Everybody's just yapping without any vibration or tone underneath what they're yapping about. Tone is the one thing that cuts through because it is that emotional sort of presence. You see, if I'm closing my body language up, that's going to reflect my tone, right? If I have a RBF, resting bitch face, right? And I have that, I'm going to sound like a bitch. Straight up. Because why? Because my face is reflecting that closed off nature. I don't want to speak to you. I don't want to talk to you, right? And so then when I'm communicating from this, my tone is going to reflect that. But what if I just smiled? You see, the smile is a cheat code. In Taoism, they say, have an inner smile. That's tone manipulation. Because a smile doesn't just pull your lips upwards. It colors the vibration between words. I'm speaking to you now. Now imagine that I'm speaking to you while I'm smiling. Isn't that more warm, friendlier, more inviting, more playful? Instead of me speaking like this. You see the difference, right? And how my tone shifts with my smile. I'm talking to you guys like this. I'm talking to you guys like this. Okay? This is why sales representatives are taught to smile even when they're answering a phone call on the other side. They can still feel the tonality on the other side of the call, right? The person they're selling to. This is why smiling is very primal, because our nervous system reads a smile as safety, as tribe, as friend, not a foe. It disarms suspicion, it lowers defenses, and makes your words slip past the rational gatekeeper into the emotional gut, the gut brain. I've noticed the way that Zerka uses emotional tone manipulation is he will point out what the other person is really feeling in their minds. So it's kind of a cold reading technique that he's using. So let's say someone is very fearful and scared, okay? You can use your tone to relax them. And you can even say things that might spike their anxiety even more. But what if you're just being goofy and chill and you're kind of lowering their anxiety with your words? I think without a smile, even brilliant logic can seem sharp, sterile, or pushy. With it, even hard truths land soft. With a smile, even a price tag feels lighter. Smile and you turn sound into sunlight. Every tone, every syllable carries the undertone of trust and contagious ease. And don't fake a smile. Genuinely feel it. Build up that warmth in yourself. Your face is the amplifier, your tone is the broadcast, and the smile is the hidden frequency that tunes the room back into harmony. When you use your voice, all people hear is noise. Just yapping, okay? Oh, this person is just saying some words at me. Most people in conversations, right? Okay, I get what you're saying. Oh, they have no idea what's going on, right? They're focusing on themselves. They're so self-conscious. But when you play with your voice like a musical instrument, you're doing different accents, you're using different tones. Now you're shifting the energy of the room, right? It's like bop it, bend it, stretch it, dance and groove. And through this, you're creating resonance. By doing this and using tonality, you are turning information into music, musicality, coloring in your language, and it's turning persuasion into a spell work. So a monotone boss gives orders, but a master of tone sparks revolutions. Listen to the greatest speakers. They all have this quality of tone. And I also want you to notice how Zerka goes. Sometimes he'll go very close to the camera, and then he'll be like, do you know what's so special about these kinds of people? Right? And it's very intense, right? But it's a sudden change in the energetics, the dynamic of energetics that takes everybody, like it brings someone very close to the camera, right? It's like you're being stuck to this energy like glue. But then if I just move back, right? And I'm just like, oh, distracted rock star energy, right? Oh, I don't care. Then you're seeing the difference, right? You're seeing the difference. So this push-pull, this hot-cold, this playfulness has to be active in you, okay? Think about Jack Sparrow, the way he moves and the way he talks and the way he, it's so dependent on Jack Sparrow's tone. So stop marching your words out like you're a factory worker. Start letting them move like jazzmen in a smoky bar. Smile in your throat, drum in your chest, a violin string as your breath. That's when people lean in and start listening deeper. And I understand this very well as an auditory or audio shaman, you could say. I really love listening to voices, tones, cadences, wordplay, different styles, different genres of music. I love it all, right? Also, my current girlfriend, she can also do voices, so we love just like experimenting and playing with these. She was singing something from the Mahabharata the other day and I couldn't even guess. So you don't just speak, you're casting. Once you play the room like an orchestra, they will never forget your song. So find your baseline tonality. I mean, how would you naturally speak to your friends? Start there. Hey there, bro. Yo, what's up? Right? That's how you speak with your friends. There's a specific tonality. Now imagine you using that tonality with your parents. Yo, what's up, daddy-o? Right? Imagine how strange that would be. How, like, they'd be like, huh? I don't know how my parents would respond to that. Who do you think we are? Rap group. Irregardless, you can play around with your tone with so many different individuals and different people. You'll notice a lot of empaths, when they see energy in somebody else, they get excited because then they can bounce off of it and they can play with it, right? That energy. So this is so important for us to understand. Energy. It's all energy work. It comes down to energy work, okay? Because once you clear up all the gunk, the traumas, the different things that are blocking you, right? You're feeling that hesitation in the throat or that thing in the pit of your stomach. Once you get rid of all of those, then your tone can flow. It's open, right? Do some bioenergetics. Incredible for tonality, right? Because you can really hear the voice. Like if you're deep breathing, right? Or you're reading affirmations, you're always going to be using tone. And again, I love these little theater exercises or improv exercises, right? See if you can rant on a topic where they just throw out different tones, or you have flashcards, right? Or you use an online word generator or whatever to keep like flipping through different tones. Or you can even do it with ChatGPT, right? Ask ChatGPT to just give you different tones. And another one, right? You know what? Fuck it, let's do it right now. All right, let's begin. The old lighthouse keeper. All right, here we go, guys. So it says gravel in the voice, very slow cadence, like I've been watching storms roll in for decades. Each word is a lantern lit against a fog. It's not about speed, it's not about weight. It's short pauses, long sighs. Imagine you're warning sailors of rocks, but secretly telling them a ghost story. Okay, here we go. The sea doesn't care about your plans. It'll rise when it wants, it'll crash when it wants, swallow when it wants. I've seen men stand against it, only to be humbled in seconds. But I've also seen the ones who learn to listen to its rhythm, bend with its moods, and walk away alive. Life's the same, lad. Don't fight every storm. Learn which ones you can ride, and which ones you must bow to. Let's do two more, okay? All right, let's do another one. This one is a stand-up comedian on stage at midnight, very fast, punchy, playful, every line delivered like you're winking at the audience, use rhythm, exaggeration, and sudden pauses for effect. The energy should fall and rise like waves of laughter. You notice how people say I'm fine? But then they say it like they just buried a body? I'm fine. No, you're not, Karen. Your left eye is twitching, and you smell like Red Bull and regret. Look, life's weird, man. One day you're a kid eating crayons, and the next day you're an adult, still eating crayons. But now they're called multivitamins. We're all just improvising, so stop pretending you got it all figured out, and at least make it funny while you crash. Okay? Got that? All right, last one. Let's shock me, baby. Let's go. Preacher, yes! Okay, I love this one. I was preaching to Ellie the other day. Preacher at the edge of the apocalypse. Booming, dramatic fire in the belly. Think pulpit thunder mixed with a street corner prophecy. Every phrase rises like waves, crashes, then leaves silence hanging heavy. It's the voice of someone who knows the world is trembling and wants to shake souls awake. Here we go. Brothers, sisters, hear me. The hour is not coming, it is here. The walls you lean on are cracking, the ground you trust is shaking, and the comfort you worship is crumbling. You think you have time, but time has already abandoned you. And yet, within this chaos lies a door. A door only the brave can step through. So I say, burn your excuses, torture, hesitation, and walk through the fire with a grin. For the storm does not destroy the worthy. It crowns them. Amen. How about them apples? Okay, let's go. Upward Spiral Gang, thank you so much for tapping in. I hope you enjoyed this little video today and it gave you some context, some ways you can play around with your tone. And remember, it's all about like what you're secretly feeling inside, right? That feeling, that vibration, and how it comes out through the tone, right? Just focus on that and the rest is easy breezy, okay? Let's get it today, Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. May the flow be with you. Upward Spiral Gang Gang to infinity and beyond. Boom.